So I thought we would talk tonight about the report. So I think with the new back office, I'm starting to love it. At first I was a little nervous and I missed the old one, and now I'm loving the new back office and loving the information. The reports have always been a little bit of a challenge for me, and maybe not a challenge, but it's just something that I was like, oh, I just don't understand what all of this information means. And so I really wanted to kind of share my screen. And as we go along, I still don't know everything, but I've been working over the last few days of trying to understand the capacity on our hands. And so I will go through, and as we're going along, I mean, you guys feel free to ask any questions, or if you've seen anything that you have become familiar with that maybe I have not, or for the whole team, we'll do that. But I'll keep it pretty, let me go ahead and share the screen. One moment. Can you guys all see that? That pop up? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's dig into the virtual office. Now I'm gonna go back and revert a lot back to February, because that has just a little bit more information. I'm gonna move. Okay, so most of the content is gonna be into my business. Now I just did want to point out that if you hover over the little eye, or you can click on it, everything really is interactive. So you can click on and it tells you what PV is. So if you're walking your new ambassadors through the back office, that's what I would recommend, to talk about points and rank and all these different things. Let's go first to under my business, because this is where the mecca of all the reports are going to be. Go my business and click on new ambassadors. So you're going to see a reflection. Your new ambassadors that some of you guys might be getting emails, some of us are not. And when you have a new ambassador that joins your team, most of the time, I think they're still working on this, because I know this was an issue with the other back office. If you personally sponsor an ambassador, you should be getting an email. I don't know if you guys are all getting those emails. If you're not, please feel free to shoot me a message, and I will call the Senior Ruby line and just try to put all of the information so that way you guys are getting up to speed on that. Now, if you have level 2s, level 3s, as your team starts growing, I do not get notified like when somebody sponsors. What I do all the time, and I've made it more of a best practice, is to come into the back office every day. I write it on my IPA sheet. That's just kind of how I've started working. I write down what my PV is. I write down at the top of the page of my IPA sheet. I write down the number of points that I have, different things of that sort. So it's just kind of best practice. So, and I encourage you to do that as your teams start to grow, because what you don't want to happen, because this has happened to me before when we weren't notified, I missed somebody signing up completely. And I felt terrible because they had been an ambassador for like 30 days. And then I'm finally sending them instructions or welcoming them to the team. And I don't want that to happen. And that goes also for your customers. So I don't believe that we're getting customer emails when somebody orders as a customer, which when you're managing and running a business, it's very hard to not be notified, and you want to stay on top of that. So I also encourage you to visit your back office and check for new customers every day, or maybe every other day, or 3 times a week, however you would like to do it. But I encourage you to do that. So we're going to go for the first report. So under new ambassadors, you're going to see the reflection that this is always going to be up here, the number of new ambassadors, current date. And this really reflects immediately as the month goes. Now you can see it reflects February, you can see it reflects March. And then you're going to see the number of people that you personally responsible is going to show under level 1. And then your entire team is going to show under my team. And if I'm correct, this number right here, like the number 4, is already incorporated into the big team number. So for this new ambassador report, so I'm going to go to February. And you can click down on every month, because these are all very clickable. For this report, you're going to see that, and this is very easy. So if a new ambassador joins and does not purchase a welcome pack, they're going to show up under the welcome pack purchase. They're going to show up under no. Now you can click on that, and you can see these 2 individuals did not purchase a welcome pack. And the reason why it's good for you to know that is to either reach out to their sponsoring ambassador who's in your downline, or to reach out to them themselves if they are your own personal sponsored ambassador, to let them know, I noticed you didn't purchase a welcome pack. It's a great deal. It comes with a success kit. You have 30 days from the time that you joined to purchase. So this is just going to give you a reminder to say, hey, you know, I mean, the welcome pack is going to be their best friend. Like, they're going to get the pack of products. So if they didn't purchase it right when they started, maybe you want to put a little note on the calendar, or encourage them to purchase it for their second month of product order. So that's just where it's going to really show. Now you can see under, and this kind of goes for all the reports. You can see under, you can click on their name. It has their ID. It does not have their address here, but I'll show you where that shows. It has their email address. You can also, if you don't know who they're associated with, you can also view their team. So like that, this will, if you click on this, it will pull up, you know, everything about that person, which is pretty impressive. Let me see how I go back. I don't want to. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay. So that's where I was right here. So you click on, you can see who their sponsor is. This is also, this goes for every report that you can pull. So I know Adrienne had mentioned that she was seeing, you know, we used to get tracking numbers and tracking information. I personally have not seen that. Adrienne has mentioned that she has seen that before on a couple of people. And Sarah, you're shaking your head. Have you seen that before also?
Yeah, there was a point where I could start seeing tracking numbers, but then I couldn't interact with it. Like, I couldn't click on it.
Got it.
To see where it was in process. And then things had changed within the back office where some tracking numbers were interactive and some weren't. And so I think it's something that they are
still working on. Okay. So if you see here, if their order is shipped, you can have, this is the order number. You can click on that. For this person specifically, it's just their annual membership fee that they paid. But this is where you'll see their address right here. So if you're ever looking for an address of a customer ambassador, it's always going to be on their order form, where you can click on that. So, and then the status right here is really important. This is where you can see where that's shipped. Sometimes you'll see it say printed. Now, if it says printed, that is, I think that is just referring to people who are up for their annual renewal of the $34.95 within 30 days. So anybody who says printed, that just means, and I think Plexus now is, I mean, they send an email to that ambassador, like when their year date is coming up, they'll send an email, but it automatically charges now. Before, it was like sitting in their cart and they would have to go in and process it. Now it automatically charges. So that's really good information to know as well, in case you have someone who has not ordered in a really long time, and you all of a sudden they're charged with $34.95 and they're like, what the heck? I didn't order anything. So it's just kind of good to keep up to date, and to know, you can search by their join date, like all of these. Let me minimize her. All of these, let's go to so these are new ambassadors that purchased a welcome pack in February. So all of these, you can see like join date. If you click on join date, it's going to sort either by, the earliest, or you can click on it again and it'll sort by who the last one was to join. So these are all able to be clicked on, and it will sort in any way that you would like. Let's see here. So this is just basically about the welcome packs. New ambassadors with no activity. This is going to be, so when an ambassador joins, they're going to be shown for 0 PV their very first month, because unless they go over like 200 PV, they're going to be not counted for PV their very first month. So that's what this represents. And then the 26, or then this 0 ambassador enrollments, that's kind of going along the same lines with new growth for all of your new ambassadors. So you can definitely, I did want to show you where you can download a genealogy report. This is going to be available on every tab you see on the left-hand side. But if you've never done this before, you have to select a month, and then it's going to light up for you. So when you click on download genealogy report, I'm going to open it up, and it's basically just going to give you, this is going to give you every single ambassador on your team. So if you're looking for, and their full address is in here as well. So this is really good if you're good at Excel, if you want to have your master list of your team, or any information that you need. This is all going to be when you download your junior college report. Are you guys all familiar with that? Have you guys all done that before? Let me close out. Okay. So I wanted to say too, when you start getting levels deep, you can separate this by levels 1 through 3, levels 4 through 7, and when we all have levels 8 through 12, this is going to be absolutely amazing. So this is just kind of how it's all sortable. Then this is kind of this is the points and rank up PV. So this is really going to help show. It's going to tell what your next rank is. It's going to tell where your current points are, and you're going to have a goal of divvied out by month to month. It's really nice to show, and we won't get into this tonight, but talking about outside leg points, we'll get into all to that. That all has to do with the compensation plan. We'll go down to the sort and report. So this is what, if you guys watched that video that I had given you for homework, this is the area that I had talked about. And when I see that 407, it kind of makes me throw up my mouth a little bit. So yeah, it's crazy. So this is very important when we're talking about commission qualified ambassadors. When we talk about qualifying someone to be an ambassador versus to be a customer, if somebody is going to order 100, or I'm sorry, if somebody's going to order less than 100 PV, it is in their best interest and your best interest to qualify them as a customer. And this is why. Because these 70 beautiful people that are taking Plexus products are under 100 PV. And if they were over 100 PV, that would be like 350 extra points. So it's a big deal. Now, if these people were customers, of yours, and spread out, if they were customers, then your PV would going up. So even though they're getting the discount as an ambassador, it's really doing a disservice as you're trying to grow your business. So that's really important. If you have someone who's like, and I think you find it a lot when we love the triplex. We push the triplex welcome pack because, in my opinion, that's absolutely the best of the best. If somebody's not ready for that, or if they decide like, I just kind of need Slim and ProBio, well, then they fall off again and they're going to fall right in here. Now, I think when you're qualifying somebody to be an ambassador versus a customer, the same 60-day money-back guarantee pertains to both of them. I think it's really important to let them know that that you would really encourage them. You want to find out if they're willing to commit 3 to 6 months at least on the regimen that they're taking on the triplex. Because if somebody's saying, I've had people say, I want Slim, but I want to be an ambassador, but I only want the pink drink. I kind of have to rewind a little bit and say, you actually qualify more for our preferred customer option. By your 4th month, you're going to start receiving 10% off. So you're going to start, so that amount is really going to even out equally for you. Until you're ready to commit to a regimen, or at least $100 of the product order, I think being a preferred customer is going to be your best route right now. So that's how you're going to keep from, attrition's going to happen. It's normal, it's natural. Not everybody's going to stay on the products. People are going to fall off, they'll come back. But when you start getting into the gigantic numbers where you can literally see and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm growing, but what's happening? Those are the kind of things where it's really good to qualify someone, a customer versus an ambassador. So moving on to this report, I've captured February. So when you're looking at, if you're looking at your team and you're saying, okay, where are my points? Or how many people are actually ordering 1 to 99 PV? You're going to click on this middle number. This is where it's going to capture everyone. And you can even click on PV right here to say, okay, I want to find out who's so close. So like see all of these individuals at 99, 97, 97. And these are really good people. Now, I don't want to say exhaust all of your energy and your efforts, but if you're doing your daily IPA sheets, if you're looking at who can I reach out to today, you can really start with ambassadors that are in this area. Find out, like you can click on their order and see what they're taking. In my opinion, anybody who's not taking Slim, they need to be on the pink drink, especially when it has to do with a lot of these products. Now, these are great individual products, but with the pink drink, I feel like with stabilizing the blood sugar and the prebiotic and it being our core product, people are missing out on not being on Slim. So find out, take some time to kind of dissect those people who are in this area and find out what they're not taking and send them a shareable, send them some information. Reach out to them and say, I noticed that I know that you're taking such. How are you enjoying it? What's your favorite? Have you ever thought about adding this? And then send them a shareable. We also do, these are really great individuals also with any promos that Plexus is running, like right now with the X Factor Plus and chewables with the $5 off. If they're not taking those, reach out to these people. Have that reason to reach out to these people and say, I wanted to make sure that you noticed this. See if you can increase them. Now, we can't force them to purchase any products, and we don't want to do that. We, favoring that relationship. But when they're so close to being on the cusp, especially when it comes time to you guys, like if you're getting ready to rank up to a next goal and you can go through here and say, okay, I have 10 people that are at 95 PV. However many points I need to rank up to my next goal, what can I incentivize those 10 people? Can I say, hey, I'm going to reach out to you. Hey, if you order a 7-day trial pack, you're going to be put into a drawing for whatever. So you can kind of use this to your advantage. This is really good information to have at hand. I also wanted to tell you about the zero PV. So these are what we call our white lines. These are people that have canceled. These are people that have not ordered in a long time. Anybody who is inactive. So with these people, I wanted to encourage you. They still have an account if they have not canceled their ambassador membership. I have one of the very first 7-day challenges that we did. I kind of took a leap of faith and said, okay, I'm going to reach out to these people, thinking that they, like most of these people, and it depends on when you started. A lot of these people may have not ever tried the new Slim. So I ended up reaching out to a lot of my inactive ambassadors when one of the 7-day challenges came out, and I said, hey, I know you were loving the products. Our team is doing a 7-day challenge of the new Slim. Are you interested or you want in? And I was shocked at the amount of people that wrote back and said, new Slim, what is it? What's in it? And I'm like, oh my gosh, thinking like, well, I post about it. You're on my team page still, like all of these different things. So I would encourage you guys, for that sheet of paper that you have and you've written down the zero PV, the inactive ambassadors that you might have on your team, I would encourage you to reach out to them and tell them about the 7-day challenge that we have coming up in March, because they might learn a lot more about the products that we have and be encouraged to give it a try. And they can purchase it because they still have an active membership. They can purchase it at wholesale price. And really, they still have that 60-day money back guarantee on it if they weren't happy with it, because they've probably never purchased a 7-day in their own back office. So for the people that you have written down from the homework that you have, the people between 1 to 99 PV, I would really encourage you to go through, see who's taking Slim. See who maybe has never tried X Factor. Use that in your advantage to send a shareable to them or to shoot them a quick message. I can post, after I post this team call, I can post an example of how to kind of like reconnect or re-engage. I think that when people love to be contacted when they are the focus of the connection, when they are the focus of the concentration. So I think that will really be in your favor. But this is really good information that you guys can use to your advantage. So I also want to point out right here, when we talk about fast start, what is fast start? Fast start is when somebody joins and they have 30 days where they go gold. So 30 days where they add 20 teammates to their team. So in February, in February, you can see that we had 73 people. So if you click on that, all of the people that are showing up on here will be fast start eligible. Now, it might seem out of the scope and out of the realm of things, but this is some really good information to offer to people, especially if they start having that business sense in their mind, or you have a business builder that starts out right away. Send them information on Fast Track Gold. I mean, this could happen. I mean, Adrienne she technically in Plexus's eyes didn't go fast track because she had been on the products for like 9 months. But the day that she decided to work her business, she had hit 20 people in 30 days. And that is a huge accomplishment, and it can be done. And it doesn't have to be done all by yourself. It can be done by the duplication process in the process of 3. But that's the Fast Start eligible and what that means. Now, up here is the automatic renewal due. So these are people who are going to be, so you can see right here when you click on the I, these are ambassadors within 30 days of their annual renewal. So you can know who's coming up, when their year anniversary is coming up, or their 2-year, or however. And you can reach out to them. Or if you see anybody on that list that's kind of been inactive, make sure you reach out to them so that you don't have any angry people and saying, why did I get charged $34.95? I had no idea that was coming. Okay. Does anybody, you guys have any questions on this report at all? No? I know that, again, right here is the genealogy report that I just showed you on the last one. This is another place where you can, again, pull up any month and download an Excel on who your team is. Okay. This is also pretty important. So what do points and rank up mean? So you can just, and then this talks about the earned points and rank up, but it also takes, if you click on view our compensation plan for more information, this will take you right there as well. Okay, the next report is PV. So this is going to, I'm going to go back down to February. Whoops. Okay, so this is going to reflect what your February PV is, reflect total customers, current PV. If you don't know what PV means, if somebody's new and you're walking your new ambassador through, it just explains again what personal volume is, as well as they can click on for the compensation plan. So this also is very helpful. You know, if you have somebody on your team, or if you're someone that's super close to 500 PV, let me go back up to March to show you this example. So this shows me that like I have $59.85 to go to get that 25% commission. So you don't have to figure that out yourself anymore. So this first column is your goal is 100 PV. So once you achieve that, it's going to say goal achieved, and you know that you're going to earn 15%. Once you achieve 500, it's going to hit that, and you know that you're going to earn 25% of that total number. But it also just reflects on how much further you have to go to get there. This is really helpful for your own personal sake as well. It talks about how much PV is in your own order. Out of the breakdown of this, it talks about how much your own order is worth. And then you can click on this to see order history. It tells you if your subscription's on. You can view and edit your subscription right here if you're interested in doing that. And then this is very helpful. So this is your customer report. This is going to tell you how many preferred customers you have and how many retail customers you have. You're not going to find any number in this yes, because retail is one time only, so they're always going to be, in the no. But for preferred customers, you're going to see how many have their active subscriptions on. So you can click on that, and it tells the same thing: their status, their name, account created, customer type, order status. So if and also the ones that do not have their subscription on for some reason. So if that's the case, these might be people that just order when they want what they want. But this is just really good information. As your customer base builds, you always just want to make sure you're staying engaged with people who have ever ordered from you. I think that it's super important. The last thing that you want to do is have customers come on board, and even though they're not staying in constant communication, you just want to make sure that let them know that you're here, that you're always going to be here to help them. Let them know of any new promos. It's very, you can even, like when you're downloading, I think if you click export data, let me see here. This report will this report will come up. So if you're looking for, if you wanted to send an email to all of your customers, I mean, you could blind copy, you could copy and paste this email column and blind copy them information about a promo. So it's always all of this information you can export out, or this again is a downloaded genealogy report of your ambassadors. But if you want to pull what's right here, that's where you want to click on export data. And just as an example, like this is somebody who, let's see, this one says printed. So that just means if you see it printed, that just means that it's in process. It's been processed, it's being printed. This printed usually takes about 48 hours to turn into shipped. So if you see something that is unlikely, this is a great way you can manage the dates and different things like that. But if you see something that sometimes orders get held up because of bank cards. So if you see a date that doesn't look right compared to when it was ordered and it's just stuck there, this is some more good information for you to have at your hands. Okay. Anybody have any questions on this one? Nope. And then we have commission summaries. So again, this is just showing you previous month's earnings. You can export details. You can select whatever month that you would like. And then it talks about what's so important about the commission summary plan. And then it talks about also the compensation plan. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And then rank advancements. I love this because I think before it was really hard to figure out who ranked up when. So this captures, and I wanted to show you what this means: previous month rank versus highest achieved rank. So this captures the names of the ambassadors that ranked up, their level, their paid level, which we can get more into that when we talk about the compensation plan. So this can be a little bit confusing. So when someone goes silver, they have 3 ambassadors under them. It is not going to show that they're a silver ambassador in Plexus eyes, they're silver, but it's not going to show that they're silver until the next month, until those have processed through. Excuse me. So that's why you see like previous month rank, they were shown as ambassador, and highest achieved rank is that they're a silver. So, but when they're showing up in this rank advancement form, it'll be very easy to see on your team who has ranked up and who you can give a shout out to. So I really, really like that aspect of this. And I want to see if there's anything else. Oh, I did want to tell you guys, if you have not utilized yet under the training center, the rank up roadmap, this, you guys, is so key and crucial. And I know I'm going to be having some calls with some of you guys pretty soon, but this is such great information. I wanted to click on gold, for example. This rank up roadmap, I mean, you can watch the video, but these are, once you go through, you can click on any of these and it starts, you can print these out, save these as PDFs. Once you click through all of this information, this is where you can click on view more. And it's going to keep you accountable on finishing your lessons. And there are quite a few lessons on here. So if you're sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm this rank, I want to get to the next rank, how can I do that? It is all right here in front of you. And it's great, and you can really go at your own pace. It talks about Lexi. I don't know, do any of you guys use Lexi? No, I don't either. I started it, and then when I realized that the numbers were coming from a generic phone number, it kind of threw me back a little bit because I didn't want that to happen. I wanted it to come from my phone number, but I know some people that really do use it and love it. So I was just wondering, trying to get a feel of who used it. We'll go back here. Do you guys have anything, any questions or anything that you didn't know or that you have figured out on your own, or something that I missed going through the reports? No? Let me pull this up. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I know that was kind of a rough snapshot, but does that kind of help walk you through and see a little bit more with the back office? It's a little bit, it seems more overwhelming than it actually is when you start drilling down under each tab. But I really would encourage you to, if not every day, visit this at least twice a week, just to make sure that you're keeping up to date on new customers, new ambassadors. I'm really hoping that they fix the glitch pretty soon as far as getting emails, because that's really helpful. And as far as tracking information goes, if you guys happen to see an order form that has tracking info, feel free to screenshot that and send that to me, because I have not yet seen that. And it's the only way that we're able to do it now. I will ask somebody for their user ID and password, and so that I can log in and check it for them. But I really want to be able to give that information to new folks, especially when they're really excited to get their products.
Yeah, I think I've seen that recently with the tracking number on that.
You have seen it?
I think so. Because
Okay.
I just signed a new ambassador last week, and I'm pretty sure it was on there because I was looking to see when it was coming.
Okay, good.
Because she actually had ordered her, she did the membership first, and then waited until she got her tax return to purchase her welcome pack. And so they came separately.
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure that I had seen that on there. So I'll look again.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm going to share my screen one more time, you guys. I'm sorry, I forgot to show you something. Let's see, where am I at? Okay. I did want to tell you, and so it's not going to be on mine because it doesn't make sense for mine, but if someone is a new ambassador and they don't order a welcome pack right away when they join, according to customer service, and I have not seen this because it hasn't happened to me yet, but you are going to find if the new ambassador says, I want to order a welcome pack, how do I do it? The easiest way would be to call customer service and have them order it through customer service. But I was told by a rep that if that new ambassador within the 30 days, if they're in that 30-day window, logs into their back office and goes into the virtual office where we are right now, that they're going to be able to see that option. And I want to say they said it was under, I don't think it was under shop, which would make sense for that was where it to be. I want to say it was under like sharing Plexus, or that's where I feel like he told me. So if you come into contact with someone who doesn't purchase a welcome pack but wants to, I would maybe, if you haven't called customer service yet, I would maybe walk with them through the back office to see if that option's underneath this drop down.
Are you saying like the same thing that I had her? She purchased the membership and then later purchased the welcome pack.
Yes,
we did it. We logged into her office under her name then and did it under shop, and it comes up with the welcome packs there.
It did. Okay, so it was under shop.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And then she didn't have to, do another membership because she already had her membership. We logged in
exactly
under her name. And
okay, so she was able to.
And we were able to build her subscription that way too. Okay,
perfect. So that welcome pack option did pull up.
Oh yeah, I'm doing all the crazy new things because actually.
Good. You're teaching us, Kat. That's awesome.
The latest one that I had was actually supposed to be a level 2 and sign up under one of my other ambassadors, and we had to call Plexus, which customer service was amazing, and they sent her out an email, and she just had to respond and say what had happened because I never signed anyone up underneath another person before.
Well, there you go. So you're learning both ways.
I just put in my phone number. So anyways, they've already got it fixed and everything. So
okay, perfect.
Customer service was amazing. She was
good. I'm so glad. I love that.
Took really good care of us.
Yeah. I wanted to show you guys too, for those of you guys that are going to convention, under incentives and recognition here on the left-hand side, this is where, and not just convention, but this is where you can see what, like your convention contest. This pulls up and shows you the current number of points that you have. And it really keeps track. And if you want to know what the prizes are, it's up here, the flyer, the facts, shareables, different things of that sort. Also for Consistency Club. Now, for those of you guys that are newer, Consistency Club, if you've never heard of it, we have Club 300, Club 500, and Club 700. And it's basically, it's kind of a self-explanatory you can click on what exactly that means. It's really more about personally sponsoring ambassadors and having customers. And you can win prizes if you have, if you hit Consistency Club a certain number, like Club 300, they want you to achieve it 8 out of 11 months. And you can earn prizes and different things of that sort. So that is just what that means. I just wanted to kind of show you that. And yeah, so I would recommend, if you want to see who ambassadors are, this is under the recognition tab under incentives and recognition. I think it sorts all the way down to Ruby Ambassador. So each and every one of you guys are going to have a picture on this page. And so it's nice to see who the jewels are. If you ever want to find someone to follow on social media or Diamond Documentary and you want to check out who these people are, this is the area that you do it. So I know that this isn't about reports, but I just kind of wanted to show you. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I know that the back office can be a little bit, they talk about it being a corner office with a view. So I think that this is our own, one-stop shop, but I think there is so much information at hand, especially under the training center, the resource library. This is, if you guys have never taken a look at this, you have the digital success kit, the IPA worksheets, all of the things here at your hands that you can really look at, print out, and grow. All the compensation tools, compliance, if you have any questions about that sort. But it's just really good to kind of, doing a call on reports tonight kind of made me sit down and dive in a little bit on trying to teach you all. So that's what I would recommend, just kind of going through here. And if you guys do not have Plexus Power Tools also, I would love to give you my user ID and password, because what I would recommend also would be to create a folder on the desktop of your computer. Plexus Power Tools is kind of like the mecca of all resources, PDFs, ingredient lists. And it's changing, when things change, it will update. But I would recommend starting a folder on your desktop and going into Power Tools and saving everything in there so that you have it on hand. But would anybody like my user ID and password?
Yes, please.
My user ID is NicoleBrown11@hotmail.com. And my password is Gorgon6. So GORGEN 6. All lowercase. And it's if you decide, you feel free to use mine. If you decide to get your own, it's $10 a year for the subscription, and it's just plexuspowertools.com. It's a great resource to have on hand, especially when you have somebody asking you questions. In addition to this resource library, it's something that's really worth your time to start saving attachments. So.
Okay, thank you.
Have anything else? I will stop the share. I appreciate you guys being on tonight. Hopefully this was helpful. Any questions? No? All right, well, I'm going to upload a recording, and then I'll put, if you guys are looking to see how to reach out to customers, inactive ambassadors, different things like that, I'll put some sample, obviously tweak it to make it sound yourself and genuine and authentic like you all are, but you can use that as an example for a reach out. So perfect. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Bye.